This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck as a 2007 Ford F350 crew cab, 6.0 turbo diesel, four-wheel drive. It's a Lariat, which is leather. It's an FX4 suspension package, which is Rancho suspension installed at the Ford factory. It does have a moonroof, leather. It's really loaded up. 149,500 miles. It was a dealer trade-in for Jim Click Ford. And basically they can't sell anything on their used lots. When they take a car in trade with over 100,000 miles, they can't get financing for them for their customers. So they sell them all no matter how nice they are. This one is a really, really nice truck. The only thing we could find wrong with it was the rear slider doesn't work. And if I had $1 for every truck on my property right now with a power slider, a Ford power slider that doesn't work, I'd have about 20 bucks. Because out of about 30 that we have, 20 of them don't work. I don't know what it is about the window motors they put in those rear sliders, but notorious. It does not surprise me that does not work. I don't know what the design flaw was there, but there's definitely one there. They're about $450 to fix. That's $280 for the part and about 2 hours labor. We would do it, if you wanted it done, we'd do it for about $400 if you wanted us to do it after you bought it. I wouldn't do it, I just leave it alone. That's the only problem you're going to have. That's a pretty easy problem to deal with. Just pretend like you don't have a rear slider. Anyway, the tires all the way around, it's sitting on 20s. Factory 20s, and I would say probably 20%, maybe 30% tread. There's your Rancho suspension. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to kind of look for problems more than there's a little rock chip here. From walking around this thing earlier and driving it, I would say the only problem you have is about 1 minute worth of touch-up work. $9 touch-up tube. There's a couple rock chips. It's got a little bit of peeling chrome thing going on with the grill, which is also another thing that they do. It's just very minor rock chips here and there, but it's my job to point them out, so I will. If you wanted to buy tires before you came to pick it up here in Tucson, or before you shipped it out, if you're going to pay by wire and ship, you could go to discounttires.com, go to the Prince and Oracle store, ask for Sheldon. He's the manager there. He's actually more than a manager for Discount Tires. I think he moved up to vice president, but he's at that store. And buy the tires over the phone. He'll give you a discount off of what you see online. And because you're paying for them over the phone, it'll be tax-free. They'll be on the vehicle before you get here or before it ships out. I would say that you know, if you were driving to California or Phoenix or whatever from Tucson, you know, within 500 miles you'd be fine. If you're going to travel any further than that, I'd like to see you get some tires first. It's a new spare. There's your Rancho suspension on the rear end. You got light package. Bed. It doesn't look like anything heavy was ever in the bed. Use a little touch-up paint there. But really, the rear bumper and the bed look fantastic for a Super Duty truck. Usually they're dinged up real good by now. This thing is very straight. Aside from a couple of scratches and chips, that's about all I'm seeing here. Rock chip here. When I'm looking at the little rock chips and the scratch on the tailgate on one of these, usually means it wasn't used as a real truck. It was more of a driver than a truck. I'm going to fire this thing up, let you listen to it run under the hood. We're going to be looking for the Ford emblem on both fenders and on both sides of the core support, which will tell you that there's no crash damage where they've replaced parts. Gotta open the hood, don't I? There's no crash damage where they've replaced parts. they replace parts. They don't buy Ford parts. They're way too expensive. There's your Ford stamp there. I can see it right between my finger and thumb. There's a Ford stamp there. There's the stickers you need to see on the core support. There's another stamp right there. There's one right there. My guys tell me they did do 2 glow plugs. They needed 2 glow plugs. It had a check engine light on for a glow plug. So they did the glow plugs on it. The 2 that were bad. And that's all that's happened to this thing. Went to detail. Mechanics checked it out. And just a nice truck. Huh. Super clean. The guy who drove it put it in the right places. I don't even see any door dings on this thing. Usually you'll see a lot of them with big trucks, parking lots at malls and whatever. Oh, you know what? I just saw something. I just noticed on the outside, this amber lens is broken. These amber lenses, you have to replace the whole mirror. That's about $150. This lens is more than the whole mirror. So we usually leave these alone because people tend to hit these on things and break them anyway. So consider that one pre-broken. If you want it fixed, you can order a new one. They're about $135 or $150. It's somewhere in that area. Hit them on the drive-through stuff and teller things. Make sure all the switches work. Rear seat down, rear seat up, full seat down, full seat up, forward, back, front seat cushion up, front seat cushion down, feet on and off. We do have a manual. There's a manual there. Wheel lock right here. Seats look like they're in pretty good condition. Alright. I'm going to talk about other stuff while I'm running through all this stuff. Please make sure you get a deposit in. If we accept your offer on our site or on eBay or wherever, please make sure you get a deposit in. Without a deposit, we don't have a deal. Once we have a deposit, we will put your name in a banner over the vehicle at wheelk.com and you'll know it's yours. We won't hold the vehicle for you without a deposit. We've done that before. People flake out. And then we lose people who were interested in it previously, and it's just not a good way to do things. Forward, back. Let's see. The up, down. It tilts up. It tilts down. Seat cushion comes up. Seat cushion down. But the whole... Yeah, it does. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was thinking it wasn't working, but it is. Looks like somebody's done a repair here on this outside bolster at some point. I don't believe that was us. You can see where some fill is put in there. So somebody's repaired it. It's not an insert, it's like a filler that they put in there. Maybe that was done at Click, I don't know, at the dealer, the new car dealer. There's your pedals. Alright. Let's get in here. Put on a seatbelt so I don't get that bell ringing. Alright, let's see. Radio. There's your radio. Let's see if these controls work. Let's change the station. Yep, okay. That works fine. That works fine. Let's try the air. It's blowing cold. Let's try this. Let's make sure the temperature changes. The steering wheel controls. It does. Change the fan with the steering wheel controls, and it does. All right. Let's see. Let's go through systems check. Please remember, this is not a new truck, okay? So let's make sure that you realize if you want to buy a new truck, this is a Lariat. So if you bought a new Lariat, you'd probably be looking at about $65,000. You're saving a lot of money with this truck, but it's not new. It's not risk-free. So if you're an eBay guy and you're looking for a perfect vehicle, you need to go to the auto mall. If you're an eBay guy and you're looking for a good value, this is the right one. Just remember that at some point, you may or may not have to invest some of the money you saved into doing some repairs. There's 4 low, drive, in reverse. All right. They put a certain number of, this is 4 high, that's drive. They put the engineers and manufacturers put a mile and a year limit on warranties for a reason. They don't know what's going to happen after that. If they don't know, how do we know? So please be realistic here. Even though this thing is looking real sharp right now, mechanically and cosmetically, obviously the cosmetics aren't going to change unless you wreck it, but mechanically speaking, we don't know what's going to happen. All right, you don't know, we don't know, the engineers didn't know either. If they knew, they'd give it a 300,000 mile warranty and they'd sell the truck for $100,000 because it would be worth that with that kind of warranty, right? Okay, so it's a used car, whether it's used for 100 miles or 150,000 miles, there's risk. So please just factor that into your thinking when you're buying this truck. That being said, this thing is a hell of a nice riding truck. Very smooth. It's a 350, so it's got some stiff suspension, but there's your turboing. Obviously, I don't want to rear end this guy, but I don't have any vibrations. I don't have any shifting issues. 4-wheel drive worked fine. The only thing we know doesn't work is the rear sliding window. And what else? Did I try the moonroof? I don't believe I tried the moonroof yet. Showed you. I know it works because I did it earlier today. I want to show you the moonroof working so that you know it does. There's the moonroof. Open and close. Alright. Last little bit of business. If you come to Tucson to drive it home, you're going to pay tax and dock fees. Dock fees are $250. Taxes are 2% city sales tax here in Tucson plus whatever your state tax rate is. So if your state tax rate is 3% and you decide to come to Tucson, you're going to pay a total of 5%, your 3 and our 2, and a $250 dock fee. If you pay by wire and ship, all you pay is the agreed upon price, and that's it. You'll deal with your tax man when it gets to you, if you have to. You'll deal with plates in your state if you have to. Whatever you're doing, it's on you and your state. That's that. I'm going to try to get out here and do a little bit more of a high-speed pass so that I can demo the tranny and everything. This is a 25-mile-an-hour zone, which is eventually I'm going to get hammered, but hopefully not today. I'm going to turn the air off so we can hear better. This is turbo. Some tires here shortly. That's about it. It's a really pretty truck. Thank you for your time. Have a great week and a safe weekend.